These walls begin to fall, head lost in the silence. Cold stars illuminate the secrets on your tongue and the poison in my lungs. Where every passage ends, a new road begins. The further I descend, your labyrinth.
Hello and welcome back to Talent League Season 9, and we've got the final game for this evening. It's Katana Gaming versus Goldinis. It's me, Chamberlain, joined by Renzus again, and we're going to go through this and have some fun, and hopefully it's just as exciting as the last game, but hopefully it's a little bit closer, because of course we've just seen that 7-1, and it was in Villa, but this time we're going to be going to Oregon. Defense for Katana, attack for Goldinis. What are you thinking?
I don't know. On the score it says that Goldinis at the moment is on it was slot 3 or 5.
Three, yeah.
Yes, slot 3.
They're third just now, yeah, on 3 points. Yeah.
Okay, and Katana was on 5th. So at the moment it's like stat-wise, it's definitely on side of Goldinis. And I know some of these players. It's actually cool. Oh my god! I just want to point out that better just say Klaus. By the way, and okay, sorry, yes, I was completely thrown off by that. Oregon, yeah, very basic map, probably one of the most common map picks, especially in tier 4 or tier 3, if that even exists anymore now.
Yeah. A bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're ready to go though. We're in the game. We're ready to get started. The game's up and running. We're going to go for the bans, and we'll see, have a look at who's going to be taken off. Of course, Oregon is the map. We're going to Goldinis. Spelt a little bit incorrect at the top of the screen, but it's okay. We'll move past it. Katana Gaming as well on the defense. And I've just had my producer in there in my ear just being a little bit downtrodden that he spelled that wrong, but it's okay. We'll move. I don't think they'll mind too much. It's just a little error. It's all right. But we're going to start off with a Flores ban, and it's a pretty strong ban, especially in Oregon. There's a lot of shield play, usually for trophy, usually for elbow and basement. Not surprising to see the Flores go. Very strong operator for dealing with shields, and that is likely what the avenue is for that. The KB as well has seen an uptake in bans over the last few months. Of course, very strong. DMR is always a good pick. Has those impact EMPs as well, so there's an option for opening up walls as well, just to kind of fill that support role, if you will, and as a Thatcher alternative or a Cali alternative. And of course, has those phone calls as well that are just a plague for any roamers that are moving around. But she'll be banned away.
Don't forget the wide variety of secondary weapons that she had.
Oh yeah. So the SMG-12, I can't remember the name of the other one though. The other, I can never remember that SMG.
Yeah.
But anyway,
automatic pistols and the Gun 6.
Yeah, the Gun 6 as well. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was remembering as well. It's just destructibility, impact the EMPs, DMR, and obviously clears out the roamers, and also a little bit of intel as well, because if you get the cams. So not surprised to see the KB go. Mira, strong ban on Oregon, almost a default ban. Of course, that basement, trying to face up to Mira is an absolute nightmare, so everybody bans it away. Cade as well, as a mainstay operator in terms of the ban phase, always been an option for people to ban, because they're just a pain to deal with. He doesn't have as high a ban rate as what he used to, because he, of course, impact the MPs, which have just changed the game a little bit in terms of the bans, but he's going to be banned away here, and we're getting this started off on a basement defense here for Katana.
What I'm actually kind of curious about is the new gadget. I don't know when it comes out, like the vision blocker for drones, as I think it can be very situational from map to map, but I think it will be something like a shield. So it has this 4 or 5 very fixed spots on every map, like the shield on elbow or stuff like that, or the I don't know, like the head holds on E-box right here. But okay, let's not talk about theoretical things and just get into the practice
Ooh.
side. And Profess gets a wonderful opening frag on Hana, and just opens the opportunity up directly to start the game. Not even 10 seconds gone before getting the kill here. And Goldinis is already one body down. And that is actually their soft breach here on the slash here. So impact's not that hard.
First pick does come through, but there is a refrag to come through as well. Thumbs finds Sneaky, but Lie at the same time is there for that refrag and gets Thumbs dealt with, and it's a 4 versus 3 scenario. Still in favour of the defence here after that opening pick on the spawn peak. They have the Ying in tow here, and I'm not quite sure what the attacker's plan was there. I don't know if they knew it was the right site or what, because they'd brought the Amaru, they'd also brought along the Ying as well, so I think they were thinking of going for the rush, and obviously that early pick there just kind of stifled any opportunity to do that. They have got themselves in at least a good position within the map to start to get down to the site, but there's no one in the site except from the one player, and that is the key area. There's no one there, and it's a very strange way for them to go about this, and I don't think they've actually realised how much control they have. Alfred's now rotated down. He's realised that the site could be vulnerable to a push to come through, and it is Klaus that's down towards that laundry area, though. The double up does eventually come downside that area in times of the pillar. It's Prophet to come down, but Klaus is going to find Future, and now we're in a 3 versus 3 scenario though, but double kill comes through for Lai, who's able to find Klaus inside the laundry even, and that's through from Freezer's side, and pushing down the staircase still. The Yin Candelas are going to go through. Noel has the diffuser though. Where is he on this map? Actually not 100% sure where he is. I think he might be coming in from laundry side or bunker. Yes, there is on the other side of the map, just coming through for the pinch to try and at least isolate one of these members of the defense of Katana and try and get them in a better situation. The Yin Candela's coming through. That's going to push Lie into a corner, who's just going to lie down and take the kill and the death to come through from Nox here. Who's able to deal with that, but Prophet's on the swing there, close to the door, but coming out on top is no there on the crossfire. Now it's a 1 versus 2 situation, but Alfred's there to find one, and now we're looking at a 1 versus 1. The wall will be opened up though. Noel has the Habana, has the hard breach, has the option to open it, but has not been able to deal with the castle barricade yet. Smoke Babe does go to that side to at least prevent him going that way. He's going to have to melee open. Doesn't want to use any more of those pellets, or maybe doesn't have any in his pocket. Now, proximity alarm starts to ring around his ears, and he will at least announce his positioning to where he is, because Alfred's just going to play time, just going to hold at the bottom of the laundry stairs, knows the plant's going to have to come through, but knows opting not to go for the plant. He's going to hunt for the kill at least a little bit, sends a little bit of pre-fires, and he's just wearing down the time, doesn't know where they are, opts to go out of the site, back towards Freezer, doesn't know where the player is. Still, Alfred just as patient as ever, waiting for it to come through, but knows going to make a big mistake here. He doesn't realise Alfred rotated to the bottom of the staircase here inside the laundry. Alfred still plays for the time, goes through, has SMG 11 and hang. Now it's 000, but he's going to turn his back, but he knows, he just hears it. Just almost a mistake there from Alfred's part, who turns his back, but realises that it's happening in the corner, right behind him, inside of the washing machine area, and that is the defender's round to take. Katana take the lead on Oregon.
Wow, what a nice first round here. There has been happening so much with the entry frag. Wow, and the spawn pick on the entry. Oh my god, that was so unfortunate at the end. Like, that was a good. I really like how they just came down to the main code on 1 versus 1. So these are very enjoyable to watch. As we see more of the more individual plays on like single players that give it some more in-depth detail on those players and just how they are gonna play out these situations or scenarios on their own. Yeah, about that, that was actually, as you said, quite unfortunate that he didn't see where the smoke was, that they didn't knew it, which then, if he just, oh my god, the situation, if he would just have planted there and just didn't walk around stuff, I think he would actually would have just gotten the diffuser down way earlier without him dying to that in the meantime.
Yeah, it was a really, really well played round from the smoke, because he sent the smoke canister down towards E-box and towards that doorway into the Shaiko spot that faces out from pillar and into bunker. And because they set that smoke, that canister there, it almost kind of fed into the mind of the Habana moving through bunker that he has to be near there. He has to have been close to that area near pillar from him to be able to toss a smoke canister there. But he just tossed it and ran. That's what happened. He just threw it onto that doorway, ran all the way to the other side of the site, and just played the time. And that's exactly what was in the back of the mind of the Habana player. They're just moving through, not quite aware of the fact. No was just hesitant to go through and didn't quite know where the smoke was going to be playing. And eventually it just kind of came back to bite them, having to plant on the 000. It was one of those ones where you might as well, you can't find the player. It spent a little bit too long, even to the point where they went back out of sight. I think it was just a case of should have just planted and hoped for the best and didn't quite work out. But early round pressure here coming in from the west side as we clear from the small tower area. And of course, we still have the defensive Katana now. They're up onto the top floor this time. They're just going to hold this angle down towards that corridor there. But a nade does come up from below. Perfectly cooked. Gets the down. Not quite the kill, but at least gets the down and will reduce the player on the smoke all the way down to 20 HP. He does get collected eventually. And he's already used one of those smoke canisters and will at least be able to use a couple of them on the round as well. And pushing up this white staircase now. The butt gets to the top there, but the flank could come out as well and drop just as soon as they got into the site there. Future is the one to find that kill onto Nox there. And pushing through from Trophy now. Sneaky and Prophet after getting themselves together, and Sneaky down below at the same time finds Klaus. And things are falling apart here for the attackers as Hunter's eventually dealt with inside of the bedroom. Hops in the window, not able to deal with anything at all. Quick push, quickly stifled, and the round goes towards the defenders of Katana.
Wow, it was played fairly well. I didn't expect Goldinis to fall down that quickly as they after they got down the smoke. It gave them basically full access to the big bad area, which I think they didn't play off and just just ran into a lot of sites at the same time. Then this just shows us how good the communication on Katana gaming side is, and how they're just able to completely fall back to side and completely rearrange the things that they're doing, and can definitely quickly react to some surprise plays from enemy teams like Goldinis here, which just they played it down fairly well, which just gave them here the 2-0, and momentum is on the moment definitely still on the side of Katana Gaming.
Yep, it's been a good couple of rounds from them and tried to be a bit quicker there on the push, and as soon as they got the down onto the player inside of the bedroom, they just decided to, kind of activated their attack up the white staircase, but they just kind of funneled a little bit through the one doorway, and there was just players ready for it. And it's unfortunate there was still some presence on the bottom floor that hadn't been dealt with, and it just completely collapsed. Having to change sites, of course, 2 rounds in a row that they've won. They're going to go for this dining and kitchen take, hold even, and upstairs, gonna hold on to the kids' bedroom. That's exactly what you usually see, holding through that hatch, usually putting a little bit of resistance inside the attic. That's where Alfred's gonna be playing on the alibi. No smoke this time, so no way to deny any pushes coming into the site and waste some time. Instead, they're just gonna bring along the Jaeger. They have the Frost as well to catch anyone out and wants to drop down on that drop down area in attic, or even from the windows. It really depends where they decide to place them. And pushing in from the attic side, it looks as though that is where the take is going to come from the attackers. Some of them moving towards the armor area. Looks as though that is a kind of split push area they're going to go in from. You have Thumbs on his own pushing through the map, which is generally what happens with a Knock on the board. We didn't speak too much about it to start with. Knock is usually banned away. She has made it onto the board and she will be utilised and pushing through towards laundry and all the way up that armory staircase. And now the pinch will come from attic and armory at the same time to try and get rid of these players inside of games and bedroom.
Yeah, Goldini is completely having attic control already at this point, and are already deep into it. And no, okay, Hana is just falling back a little bit, and I think they're just rearranging now for east side push for the top floor. But it doesn't really mean anything at the moment. Ikox gets probably gets the opportunity to breach the opening now. Oh, the contact nade from above, which just gives them some vertical control. And oh no, what was that? It just exploded. I think it's the nade from Klaus on Zulu. But here in the 4 versus 5 situation, smoke comes out and Ikox is not in this position to plant here, but no, gets caught off by Prophet. Where did he even kill him from? Oh no, don't tell me he killed him through the dawn hole. That is so unfortunate. Lai gets the kill on Thumbs, Hana with the refrag on Lai, and now it's the 3 versus 3 situation. Man count is even again, but Goldinis are on with the Goldinis are very low on HP here, with Hana being very low. Sneaky now getting out Klurten, the Klaus here, which just leaves Null and Hana in a 2 versus 3 situation. But that's cut down with Hana being killed. Prophet again, who just quick job of just pumping off Prophet, pumping off Hana here, and now it's no in the 3 versus 1 situation with about 30 seconds left on the clock, and I mean, the time is still there, but can he do it?
Yeah, he's just not quite sure where to go. He knows he can't go in through the kitchen doorway because he's been held from above, but eventually decides to go for a split. But the angle's just way too long to deal with the 1.5 of the frost, and just walks straight into the open arms of that gun and dealt with the final shot and the final kill on that round for Katana Gaming to take another round on Oregon. They go 3 points into the lead, and they're looking pretty strong on their defense, I've got to say.
Yeah, actually, they're doing that really, really good on every side at the moment. They're just complete. I think they're doing a great job of just predicting where Goldinis are gonna go and rearranging their defense, like in the right areas. And at the moment, they're just doing a great job of just gunning out where they have to be, not overpeaking too much. And I just like this whole match. Is way more in depth than some of the other matches at the moment. But I think we're in the playoffs right now already, right? So that's actually very interesting to see that on the one of the first days in the playoffs, which is very exciting, and I'm intrigued to see how more matches will gonna play out from here.
I'll just very quickly correct you there. Apologies, but not quite any playoffs yet. It's just it's just the first just the league stage just now made for the major. So we're only the third week this one now. So, but it's still a big game. It still has a little bit of weight behind it because I mean we did not quite discuss the actual groups at the start there. Of course, Goldinis on. They're in third position at the minute. They've got a good situation there. Rush coming down the laundry stairs, just as you say there. 5 versus 4 though, as Katana look as though they're just ready for it though, pushing down the staircase, and Profit to find one, Lie to find one, and eventually there's a down to find onto Coxie as well. And now Klaus in a 1 versus 5, and just as quick as the rush could be activated, it is put to bed, and the defenders win that round out. They were wise to it. They were waiting for it. They knew it was going to happen, and they had all those angles covered. And the rush is no more. 4 rounds in a row for Katana.
Wow, again, it's really fascinating how Katana is able to just, with the Goyo just calling out that there's the rush happening, that they just can comprehend that so fast that that's a lot of game sense that you need for this, and a lot of experience in more of these gunfights. And I'm not saying Goldinis is playing bad here. They're doing a really good job. They're playing really solid. But Katana is doing such a great job of predicting and reading them where they're going that it's just not possible for them to react in the right corners. And the setup from them with the Goyo there completely cut down the play, which in the end just cost them the whole round really quickly. And I think if the Goyo wasn't there, it could have been completely different. So I think it was a little bit luck and time based at the moment, but yeah, still. Katana is doing a great job.
I mean, it just proves how vital utility can be. Like you say, you mentioned the Goyo there just slows it right down. It was perfectly played, stops the rush in its tracks before it can even become anything worse than what it was. They deal with they have the cross angles, they deal with the kills, they get it done early on. An accidental team kill here onto Ying. Klaus is going to be the one that unfortunately does that. Maybe it was an accident, I'm not 100% sure. Just a couple of messages in the chat there just to say nice shot onto the back of the head. And Noel, who's unfortunately gonna just make a brief appearance in this round, doesn't even get himself into the first 30 seconds in this round. And Nikki will be feeling a little bit of pressure from the window and armory, and Thumb's good for a rotate around the back and knows that there is a potential for a kill to come through, and there's going to be a player ready to swing onto the doorway right away. It's Alibi just waiting for it, knows that the player's going to come from that window or come from that doorway, and it's just going to juggle between the two, and eventually does go back to site. Alfred's still inside of the meeting room, just waiting for the potential push to come through. Future, though, is going to be dealt with, though, and that's an even score count now inside this round, as Hunter's able to find that kill. Klaus, though, is not looking too great in terms of the HP count for them. Alfred goes for the rotate through Z and looking for any angle of attack and avenue for a flank to try and get round towards these players and just bring a little bit of aggression, get in their faces, and make sure that they can't get a comfortable foothold in this round, and that's what they're trying so ever graciously to get. They're going to get there eventually. It looks like so they are starting to get past Showers, but Prophet is lying in wait and knows that there's someone that's going to be going in towards security. As Thumbs sees the rotate, knows there's a player playing around Kitchen, but they don't quite know that Prophet's at the top of the staircase. It's very much a cat and mouse game here between the two of them. Thumbs just going in and out of security and Kitchen, not aware that Prophet is so close. The smoke babe does go out to slow them coming in from that area as well. Now, Alfred does take up the position as Prophet makes it back to sight. Alfred's able to find one. It's onto Klaus, and he's dealt with now. And Thumbs and Nox are left in a 1 or 2 versus 4 scenario. Thumbs has to pop upstairs though. Knows there's smoke upstairs to be dealt with, but there's also Sneaky and Alfred there. They're tripling up on this top floor now because the site is, of course, bedroom and gaming. That's where they need to go. That's where they need to get to. I don't think they've really got themselves in a comfortable position to actually get through here. They try to deal with the play below. They've not quite been able to get it, and now it's not looking too great for them. They still have 45 seconds. They still have an opportunity to get in here if they're able to get a couple of kills, but they're going to have to deal with the smoke inside a bedroom. That's exactly what they do. 2 quick kills. A 1-2 punch comes through from Goldinis, and they're able to even up the scoreboard 2 versus 2 now with 30 seconds on the clock. They have an opportunity to steal this round out from underneath Goldinis, who still have that shield facing to the top of the white staircase, and Thumbs needs to get his act together, needs to get some speed there, but the nade from below, but there's an instant refi. Cox is dealt with on that window there, and he's dead to right. Thumbs at the top of the white staircase. Sneaky knows he's there though, but the swing comes through and they're not able to land any shots in either arm, just trading blows back and forward. Sneaky wins it out, and that is all she wrote for that round, and another round on the board for Katana.
Wow, okay, that's actually so unfortunate for Goldinis again. As you saw again, they played that down fairly strongly as they just were able to completely even out the score, and it just came down to 1v1 gunfight again at the end. That's just completely based on with the defense being in favor of that anytime. So yeah, actually I think they're both really even up at the moment, but Katana just doing like always just a slight bit better, which just, gave them the round at that point. And all in all, I would say Katana is just at the moment definitely the stronger team, not by 4.
Yes, came down to fine margins a couple of times, and it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate the way it is, and now they're staring down, a potential 6-0 lead here if they win this one for Katana. It's not looking great. They only need to connect 1 round and to win the map, and it looks as though Goldinis need to start getting some results. They need to start winning these open engagements. They need to start getting themselves into better positions earlier on, because there's a 4-2 split there. That was, wasn't, in their favour at all. Katana had control, full control. They dropped it a little bit to the 2 versus 2, and then in that situation there was just maybe a little bit of panic, a little bit. They swung out of the double window. The nade came from below a little bit too late to save the life, and it was just unfortunate the way it worked out for them. And I'm hoping that this time they can string something together. They're going to have to deal with the player on top of the small tower. The C4 goes out, and Prophet's able to find the opening pick here onto Hunter. And of course, the site is downstairs inside the kitchen and dining. They've been here before. They've ran this rodeo in a previous round, but 4 versus 4 is Noel's able to at least even the odds now and find Sneaky. Alfredo with an immediate kill onto Thumbs, and it's just back and forward gameplay this entire time. This opening minute has been jam-packed with action, and now it'll just lull out a little bit as everybody tries to regather their thoughts and think about where they can approach this from.
Yeah, I think Goldinis would win more of these rounds if they if they would get the entry frags, but it just looks like in most of the rounds the entry frags have gotten into the hands of Katana, which just overall gives you a very good advantage at the start of the round. So like if and I mean you see that Goldinis are doing a good job of refragging their mates, but if you're 1 man down, it really doesn't matter. Is it just in the end just always is like 4-3, 3-2, 2-1, and it's just then it just comes down all in all just to the one who has more man count now. And as we're talking about that, the man count is evened out again with 3 versus 3, and this is still very winnable for both teams, as we have over 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Noel just seems to be opening the main breach now with Alfred instantly calling it out to his teammates, and Katana just knows how to rearrange to that and play around that. Oh, yeah, and the breach being open.
Yep, just rotates in there to open that wall up there. Alfred was lying just in front, decides that he's not wanting to do that, doesn't want to get aggressive onto it. It's just going to pull back. Klaus, of course, has brought the Osa, has brought those shields, and will be a little bit of a nuisance on that breach. Is
No way.
going to place it down there, but pops through to Z there. Alfred's able to find one, Future finds the other at the same time, and look at that, it just completely collapses there. Katana just clutched that round straight from the what was looking like it was going to be a decent execute.
Oh.
It looked like it was going to happen there. It looked like we were getting in a good position there, but look at that. Beautiful shots from the alibi. Finds the double inside the security. Pops himself out. Finds one Z. Flicks round. Finds the other one coming from bottom white. Beautifully done. 6-0 for Katana Gaming as they go into their attack on Orkan.
Wow, okay, that was really good. And now, as we see in the match point, we're gonna see the switch on the defense. And I think Goldinis could actually come back here at least like 1 or 2 rounds, as we are now in the defense with them. And just we haven't seen anything from that on to that point. But I'm curious if they can like get the pressure back now and just get the entry facts that they need, or if Katana can just completely shut this down and win this out back-to-back 7-0. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's going to be a 7-0. I think that's just going to be the way it falls, really. It's been a very one-sided evening. All 3 games I've been on Enemy have been one-sided. I'm not 100% sure on the result before then. But the last game, of course, was 7-1. The game before that was 7-3, I think, or 7-2 off the top of my head. Not 100% sure, but there's been a pretty big gap between the teams tonight, and Katana are bringing out the aggression. We've seen Nerfminer bring it in the last map, and it seems as though best of 1 formats always play better into the team that has the better gun skill, that has the better mechanics, because it's the prep that goes into a best of 1 that isn't as, it's almost like there's not as much effort, or they don't want to show things. It happens in every league. It's just the way that that a best of 1 plays is they generally go to the more standard areas in terms of Oregon, your villas, your chalets. Generally, they're the maps you go to. Generally, you just see the kind of standard rank setups, which is what we're seeing here. Head holes and E-box, rotate into elbow, someone playing elbow with a shield. That's standard. That's exactly what you'll see in a ranked game. It's nothing different. The hatch is reinforced. There isn't really a roam game. They're just going to lie and wait for them to come through, which the way Katana are playing might not be the best way to do this. You want to try and maybe just counter out a lot with some of that aggression, get in their faces and show that you want to fight for these points. Noel's the only one out on the roam. He's the only one showing any sort of resistance. He's over towards that Z side, the top of the shower staircase, moving down towards Freezer, and he's just moving around, shooting drones, making sure that he's just moving around and causing a nuisance, really. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't really want to take any engagements, and he has made his way to the top floor, has the 1.5 on the Goyo, so has a gun well capable of getting these kills. And are they aware of this, though? Inside of Attic, he's just made his way in there, just managed to edge his way towards that Attic area, and the potential for a flank is there. Are the drones in place, though, to cover this as Noel just creeps and slinks his way towards that Attic rotate, knows he's going to come through and knows there's going to be someone there holding it. But look at Prophet and Future. They know. They have the info.
Yeah.
Noel is spotted. They know exactly where he is. They're just going to wait for this fight to come through, but Noel is just going to wait as well. He's going to play time. He's just going to get in their mind a little bit. He doesn't want to take the gunfight yet because he knows he's going to lose that gunfight because they have a crossfire, so there's no point. Why not? Let's just play here. Let's just let them know that you're in that area, and they need to keep thinking, because they're going to want to get this execute done. There's a minute left, and they're not even in the site yet. They're not even got themselves in a good position for the execute. They haven't got control of bunker. They haven't got control of pillar yet. They only have a minute. The push has to come down the staircase. 5 versus 4. Those Prophet's able to deal with Cox there, and now things are starting to unravel a little bit here. But instantly back on the refrag is Noel to find Future. He does pop down the staircase and find at least one. Lie, though, takes a little bit of damage. 3 versus 4. Those thumbs pops up the staircase and finds Prophet, and looking to try and find another one inside of bunker, though, but will fall to the gas as Hunter pops it from behind his shield to finish off the kill in a 1 versus 4 scenario now, with Sneaky left for the clutch position inside a bunker. Hunter going for the swing, though. Can he land his shots? No. Sneaky comes out on top. 25 seconds left on the clock here. Thumbs is just waiting for it. He wants to go for the swing. He wants to go on the hunt for Sneaky, but he doesn't want to move just yet. He knows that the push has to come through. No. Locks off that door upstairs to make sure that Sneaky can't get the rotate back up, though, but pushes in towards bunker. 10 seconds on the clock. Thumbs with the swing. Klaus still gets the kill from behind inside the pillar, and that is the round on the board finally for the defenders there. I'm just making sure that was right. I know I've declared one wrong the last time. I was making sure it was Goldinis that got the round there, but yes, they are able to pick that up, and they take it. Just obviously with the switch now, and 6-1 is the score, and it looked like a pretty convincing round there.
Yeah, actually, that was very good from Goldinis. As they were able to reaggress completely, and I think the Goyo that was on top there, they killed a little bit, not they were a little bit too confident and not getting killed by him. I think that was one of the factors that actually won Goldinis their first round and where they were able to collapse on Katana, and that's what you actually want to see. I think as Oregon is it's a kind of defender-sided map, and that's actually good from them on their side that they are able to just get the round back. And I think with that being said, and the momentum just being more a little bit, at least leaned a little bit more to the side of Goldinis, especially now with the defense. I think we could actually see some interesting rounds, and Goldinis just being able to get up to Katana again with the score.
Yeah, it was a really well done round as well. The roam game was perfectly played. That's how you want to play your roam. You either want to do one of two things. You want to cause a nuisance and attract as much of the attackers to you as possible, cause a noise, try to take engagements if you get a pick, happy days, and then fade your way back to site. That's what you want to do. That's not what Node did though. Node, the alternative option, which was to play the sneaky play, the option to move around the map in silence and not make too much noise. He shot a couple of drones to show his positioning towards the shower side and towards that freezer staircase, and then he rotated up towards attic, kept that secret, eventually got to that attic staircase, and it just was in the back of the mind of Katana as they did that execute. They just had to keep thinking and keep one eye, facing behind them onto the fact that no one was on that staircase. He eventually got a pick out of it, and it's quite astonishing, really, because they knew he was there. The two players dedicated to it, and it was almost like where they just waited so long and ran down the clock so well that eventually they had to execute under pressure, and it didn't quite work out for them. And I'm hoping that Goldinis can continue that. They've moved to the top floor. They're giving us a different defense, and they'll see if they can come up with the same solution as before.
It was very good. On that side here, Future on the security side, and Thumbs gets some damage from himself, but he plays it out really well with Buck just trying to catch him off as he tries to go down the freezer stairs, but he just gets him right on that end. But no, Katana, the Katana boss is just holding every angle, and I think Thumbs knows that, and just plays out a good chunk of time, and is just trying to know that. Oh, and now I think they're just trying to reaggress from here. Prophet pushing up now as they know that they have to get rid of the Jaeger there, otherwise he's not able to get out of that. And wow, Prophet perfectly playing off the Nux silent step and getting Jaeger there without being even noticed. And this is now a 3 versus 4 situation with Goldinis being one man up, and actually this is a very good position for them to be in here, as they are mostly on site with, they're all on site and just turtling down now and just waiting for the execute from Katana to go through.
Yep, just sending out these smoke canisters to waste some time. The nade is going to be cooked from below, setting up in Prophet, which could find this mark. It does find the tootsies of Klaus, who's blown straight out of the round. And 3 versus 3 is established. Man count is in no one's favour, though, but Sneaky is downed on the window. Not quite dealt with yet, but Nox is surely aware of that. I'm not going to go for the hop out just yet. Does find the final kill now, 1 versus 3 now, and it's in the favour of the defenders of Goldinis. Alfred has all to do. That's all the smoke's gone, though, so can now push up the white staircase, sends in the young Candelas, but not able to find anyone to blind, though, and Hunter's holding the angle from the bomb chassis, finds the kill, and Goldinis find another round on Oregon.
Well, it was played fairly well from them again, and you can see that that's what I meant about this map and being more defender-sided, as both teams are very strong, but I mean, if you're not perfectly completely accurate point by point on the attack, against an evenly strong team on this level, it can actually be very intriguing to tag these, and it just comes down to Katana just trying to get one round before the score is evened out again. But I mean, they have a lot of time. They have 4 rounds where they can just still win this out, and Goldinis has still to keep up the good work, otherwise it's still gonna go into favor of Katana.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well. They're finding these kills. They're at least being able to stay on the round as long as possible. They're using their utility pretty well. The smoke babes coming in pretty decent there. They were in good position, stopped the hop in from the window, stopped the push up that staircase as well. So it was really well done in terms of the utility play. And it's working out so far for Goldinis. And they're going to have to change things up, though. This is where things get difficult because they've done the two main sites. They've done the basement, they've done the top floor. Those are the two strongest sites on Oregon. It's pretty much undisputed. It's only now when we get to the middle sites where things get a bit tricky, those tertiary areas that are a little bit harder to defend. You're talking kitchen dining, you're talking kitchen meeting. This time, going to go for kitchen meeting. It's very much a lottery as to which site that these teams prefer. Some prefer the other one, some prefer the meeting one, or the dining one. Is really whatever one you fancy. They're going to go for the meeting one. They're going to bring the castle, and they're going to create at least an area that they can safely play on that top floor and put as much hold onto that as possible. And if they win this one, this is where the pressure might start to build on Katana, and they might start to fluff a couple of things. And I'm hoping that that's the case because I want to see a closer game. I want to see Goldinis get back into this. What about you? I don't know.
I completely agree, man. That's actually true. And Prophet gets the first kill on Hana now, with Goldinis being. Oh no, we've seen something else in the last 2 rounds, and now with Goldinis already being down one man, this doesn't look too good for them. And the last times where Katana got the opening frag, it were all rounds that Goldinis have lost, and if they have to step out and try to even out that score really quickly, otherwise they don't. Otherwise they Katana will just overrun them and in probably old fashion like they did in the last times. This could be around for them, and oh no, it doesn't look good as Goldinis sneaky gets thumbs out, and this is slowly falling apart with another one being down. Cox are down now as well. Klaus being killed by Sneak, and now it's left on Noel in 1 versus 5, and no Prophet gets the last kill with a flawless round. We're ending this match, and Katana wins Oregon with a 7-3 or 7-2 victory and get all the 3 points for this group stage.
Yep, it was really well done there from Katana. Great performance on Oregon. They're able to steamroll through the other side of Goldinis. And that last round there, like I said, I pointed it out. It's going to a tertiary site. It's an off site. It's maybe something that people aren't as comfortable with. And the issue with that is that it can come down to gun skill a lot of the time if you don't have a setup that is up to par. And they did have a little bit of setup and an idea, but it looked as though the attackers just bypassed it. They didn't really care. They just went straight past it all. We're just going to push through, breach and charge it, and just bring the aggression straight into their faces of Goldinis, and they win it out 7-2. Like you mentioned, they're all over. It's done. That's us all done for this evening. That's all of the games over. We've settled everything tonight. It's been a great and entertaining evening. At least I've had some fun. I don't know about you.
I actually had a lot of fun watching these 2 matches. I mean, they were in both matches they were kind of one-sided. So about that, that's actually sad. We want to see some more close matches, but I think that will come with time. This is for a group stage that's pretty decent and normal. But yeah, for me that's everything about that.
Yeah.
I had no favorite team for today. I had no predictions for today, as I have seen all of these teams play for the first time. Yeah, that's everything from my side. There's not really much I can add to this.
Yeah. So, before we send you all away to enjoy the rest of your evening, thanks for joining us. Of course, it's been an entertaining evening. Like I say, some of them have been quite a bit more one-sided, but they've at least been exciting games. I've certainly had a fun time. And if you guys want to get involved in the fun, and if you fancy a go at this, and you want to, sit in the chair that I'm in, if you want to be sitting next to me, if you want to have fun and cast over any of these games, certainly join the Discord. It's Talent League R6 on Twitter, on Twitch as well. If you find the Discord through there, and you can join in and you can help us out if you want to join in with the casters team. We're also looking for some producers as well if you want to get involved, and certainly hop in there, get involved, and help when anyone is up to see if you want to get involved in the stream. But that's going to be it from us tonight. I've been Chamberine and Renzus, and it's been an enjoyable night. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Follow us on Twitter.